Well, good morning. So, hopefully this goes through because last night I did a stream on this and it did not go through. Actually, it was about a 20 to 25 minute stream, and when I ended, it did nothing. It didn't record. It said recording, but it didn't. So hopefully I'm not talking to myself again. So, anyways, we got some big L's going on. Big L's going on and big wins going on. So, there was suits brought in California. California, very liberal state, as everybody knows. And a couple gun shops were shut down because of COVID mandates. So they went and they did the process, and it was decided in their favor that they really couldn't do it. They couldn't shut them down because it violated the Constitution and the constitutional rights. Second Amendment, man. Second Amendment upheld. Because when you take the ability, and that's the thing, when you take the ability away, you're violating people's rights to be able to go and get one. To some people that may sound really stupid. To others that have a firm grasp on your ability and right to own and possess arms, that will make perfect sense to you. Not to say that somebody that doesn't understand is not intelligent or anything. That's not the case at all. It just means you don't have the firm understanding of the Second Amendment, why the Second Amendment is so important, and why shutting down a gun shop during COVID, under COVID mandates. They knew what they were doing. They were anything to do with, like, they were shutting churches down, fining churches for being open, and doing the same thing with gun shops. Well, wait a minute. If there's other things that can be open, then so can churches and gun shops. You cannot sell and purchase firearms without going to a shop. Sure, you can purchase a firearm online, but it has to go to a dealer with a federal firearms license. Bottom line, I've looked into it. I've tried it. Even certain parts of a firearm has to go to a shop with a federal firearms license, and you have to pay the transfer fees. And it's just the way that it is. So people that think you can just buy and sell guns online and they can be shipped to you, it's not. If they are, then they're breaking actual firearms laws, because you can purchase a firearm from any place that sells guns. You have to do the NICS check. It has to happen. But if you're buying from a company, a reputable company, the firearm has to be transferred to licensed individuals and then released to you. I mean, yes, the information's all in your name, but when you pick that firearm, guess what? You're going to have to do the NICS check. It's bottom line. That's the way it goes. So, it is a big win. It's a big win for the Constitution. Like I said, if you can have certain agencies open and certain things open. Why? When does the government decide what can be open and what can't be open? Well, you really don't. A mandate is a glorified request. And in our neighbors in Canada, people are starting to bump back and tell the government to pound salt. You're not going to do this. And there's actually some lawsuits going on to, challenge the constitutionality, their constitution, to their rights by imposing such mandates. So kudos to them. Stand up, and I think it's great. It's great to see our neighbors actually standing up for themselves. We are a nation of laws. And when government overreaches and starts breaking the laws and violating our rights under the Constitution, enough is enough. You have countries that are shutting down their mandates in Europe. There pretty soon are going to be no mandates in most of Europe, starting with England and France. And it's just what, and I've said this before, what is different now?
I'll keep trying.
What is different now compared here in the United States compared to Europe? Nothing. Other than the fear-mongering. Dr. Fauci back in the 80s was involved with doing papers on AIDS, HIV. He did the same exact thing. It's the same playbook. The same exact playbook. Fear. Fear. And the fact checkers are going to sit there and say that, oh, well, you're wrong. You're spreading misinformation. Well, they're basing it on their opinion. So I base everything on my opinion. It's supported by fact. If you look it up, I'm not going to do their work for them. And this is why sometimes I may direct you to a source of where I'm getting my information from, but I'm not. The fact checkers have come at me enough. I'm not doing their work for them. Before they fact check and call somebody wrong, they should do the research first. And not base it on their opinion. And not base it on what liberal sources have said. Fact checkers, fact check properly. So, doctors are saying, and I'll look and see if I can get the clip footage from the news on this one particular thing. There's doctors, the interview with the doctor, and you're talking about early treatments to treat patients that are infected with COVID. And they said they could actually treat this, and found that they could actually treat this without ever having to have the vaccine. And that watching another segment from the senator from during his statement, bringing up statistics and numbers of some treatments that could be used, that they're being denied, that they're saying no, you can't use those, or you shouldn't use those, and they've been successfully used in treating other things. And you know what? The rate of success for things and the rate of harm or death from use is marginal. It's very low. Now, they did a study on these vaccines that we're getting. And lo and behold, what we're seeing and what he showed, and again, for the fact checkers, you cannot fact check and call this misinformation when it is direct from a statement on the Senate or the House floor by a politician. They're showing the statistical facts. So you have to go back and do your research before you start saying something is misinformation and wrong. But they showed the numbers already compiled for the vaccines, and death rates are elevated and injuries are elevated. Now, these are just since the vaccine has been out. So these numbers are in a rough area. So, why are they fighting so hard? Why is Fauci and his crew, why are they fighting so hard? I want to know this, and I want somebody to answer this. Why are they fighting to push this vaccine? Fauci is not science. Fauci said in an interview, and I watched it, and millions of other people watched it, where he said, I am science. That's a clip that you could take out of that, where he said, I am science. Again, for the fact checkers, do your research. It's there. It was a live broadcast in an interview. He said, I am science. Fauci is not science. And even one of the politicians, I believe it was Rand Paul, and actually a couple of the senators and Congress people have called during Senate hearings and congressional hearings with Fauci, have called him out on this and said, you are not science. You said, I am science. You are not science. Science is science. Scientific findings are science. A person is not science. I mean, technically, every person is science of some sort. But he is trying to make it sound like he is the science. And what he says is. Well, there needs to be some major, and I believe there's going to be some major investigations of the goings on of Dr. Fauci, because he's dangerous, and he's made millions last year alone in investments in China. Dr. Fauci and his wife made right around $2 million. Something hinky there. I think they're going to start doing the trail. They're going to start doing money trails, and you're going to find out that there's a lot of people making a lot of money off COVID. So when you're a politician or somebody that can influence decisions in politics, you will do, if you stand to gain financially, monetarily, you stand to gain a lot of money. You are going to do everything that you can to ensure things go longer and seem worse than they really are, so you can make your dollar. And it's wrong. Extremely and completely wrong. And they will be found out. They will be found out, you know. So, got another segment that we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can get another one that I can see if I can get the clip and discuss. If not, I will get a hold of the news center and see explain my case and what we're doing, and see if they'd be willing to share that segmented video, and I can edit it down or whatever, clips, so I can clip it out to where it fits what we're doing. So I want everybody to just remember, if you're unvaccinated, I'm not saying don't be vaccinated, but do so with the medical advice of your physician. Understand that, yes, early detection of COVID, if you choose not to be vaccinated, understand that you need to start paying attention to your body and yourself. If something's off, early detection is crucial. So make sure you get checked by your physician. And hopefully they will do the other treatment options. Some doctors, some physicians do not believe in the vaccine. So they will do the like the steroids and other things like that work, and they work. So within a couple days, you're starting to feel better. So if you get the vaccine and you get COVID, they're telling you to go home. If you're unvaccinated and you get COVID, they're telling you to go home. Treat it like a cold. Which fact checkers tried to fact check me on that one too, and I disputed it and won. When they said, no, that's not true, because there was a news broadcast or an article in the paper saying that's not true. Yeah, it's true. If you went on the CDC website, it's exactly what it says, unless they took it down. So, all right, folks. Some big wins. Supreme Court's been ruling on these mandates, saying no. So it is big wins. Big wins for the Second Amendment. And we have seen some wins for the First in certain cases. And it's just a big W for independence and constitutional rights across the board, and big L's for those that want us to live in fear and want to rule with tyranny. So if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that follow button. If you're not already, hit that smash that share button, because it helps our algorithms and gets us out to more people. Like I said, we've gotten a couple hits saying that we spread false information, which we did not, and so it kind of cuts how much they want to try to send out our make us viewable in suggested links. So if you're on any of the other platforms, follow there. You know what you got to do there, to share, but definitely share. YouTube, subscribe, and share. Hey, until next time, if you got any other suggestions, questions, or anything, go ahead and let us know. And until then, you know what I say. Stay frosty, my friends.